Hey, do you own a property in Pennsylvania, or are you ever considering purchasing real estate in Pennsylvania? If so, then I have a very important video for you. Hey, my name is Brandon Yeager. I'm a broker investor here with House Rock Realty near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I have an important video that you need to listen to. So, what I need you to do is I have a little quiz for you that I'd like you to ask your agent so that you can find out whether you're getting good guidance either in a transaction you're involved with right now or if you ever go to buy a property. What I would like you to do is I want you to ask them, hey, can you tell me a little bit about 26G? And if they say, hmm, are you talking about the row and seat number that I was at on my flight last week? Or if they say, hmm, I think that was the row I was at the Steelers game last week. If those are the types of responses you're going to get, then we really need to talk. Here's why. And first, you should know I am not an attorney. So if you need legal representation or legal counsel, feel free. Reach out to an attorney who may be knowledgeable about real estate and they can guide you. But if you ask your agent about 26G and they don't know what it is instantly off the top of their head, and they have to refer back to the sales agreement, that's red flag number one. Red flag number two, if they don't tell you what I'm about to tell you, then that's a bigger problem that you really need to address, because if they can't get this right, then there's probably all kinds of things that may be incorrect in the sales agreement that you really should probably question. Here's where this all comes about. I have a little story to share with you. So not too long ago, my wife and I, we were in a closing. We were purchasing a property. We were in the attorney's office, and we were just having some casual small talk. And I had explained to him about the number of offers that I see come through. Like we might get, like there might be a property that's like highest and best, and there might be 6 offers that come through. And, it almost never ceases to fail that one of those offers is going to have this paragraph 26G not checked. So I was explaining to, the attorney, and I said, there's this clause on the sales agreement, and it talks about the buyer's earnest money deposit and liquidated damages, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, 26G, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, that's the first thing I check every single time I have some type of residential dispute between a buyer and seller in the sales agreement. And it was at that point in time that I'm like, wow, you know, you may not know what 26G is, your agent may not know what 26G is, but let me tell you, the attorneys who are representing these people in contracts, buyers and sellers, they know what 26G is. Let's take a look at it and we can explain a little further. Okay, so here is paragraph 26G. It's a simple little checkbox, but it makes all the difference in the world. This checkbox says seller is limited to retaining those sums paid by the buyer, including deposit monies as liquidated damages. Now, see, whenever you sign a sales agreement, again, I'm not an attorney, but in general, whenever a seller and a buyer signs a sales agreement, the seller really has this duty to perform pretty much and sell that property, and they can't get 2 weeks down the road and be like, I think I shouldn't sell it, and decide to instantly change. It's not that simple. But a buyer, they can back out, and usually as long as there's different contingencies, they're usually able to get their earnest money deposit back. And again, every circumstance is different, but the buyers typically, worst case, if everything goes completely wrong, is as long as that box is checked, more than likely the worst that may end up happening to them is they may lose their earnest money deposit. The danger lies when that box is not checked. There has been, and I'll reference a court case. I'll put it either below this video or in the blog post on my website, where they actually, it has been determined where a court case was able to found it, and it was the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruling where they determined that the sellers were actually able to sue for specific performance to the buyer, basically what the contract amount was, and not simply just retain the earnest money deposit for their damages. So again, feel free, talk to an attorney, get some legal advice and guidance on it. But the big thing that I really want you to know is 26G has massive implications for you as a buyer of residential real estate in the state of Pennsylvania. And if you are not receiving the proper guidance and your agent is not aware that they need to check that box, there's a lot of things that you may want to seriously consider, and I would run it past an attorney or seek out some other help as a fiduciary for you in your transactions. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. And the important thing is you really want to make sure that if you're working with somebody, more than likely 26G should be checked for you. All right, take care. Signing out. Until next time.